Full bar flex down in Cabana. We gon' have a staycation on Havana. She wind it up.
You are now entering a state of Neema Naz. Welcome to the Finding Neema podcast. What's up, everyone? It's your boy Neema, aka Neema Naz. This podcast episode is sponsored by absolutely nobody yet again, because I am poor and not famous yet. But it will happen. It will happen soon. And you mark my words. Mark my words, everybody. Whatever your name is. Dariush, Kevin, James, Ahmad, Patricia, Laura, Lauren, Stacy, Alex, anybody. Whatever your name is. Mark my words, I will be famous one day. And I will get money from doing these things that I'm doing every day, working on my craft and myself. Because I put in work. I grind every day so I can make a living for myself doing what I love. And today's actually accompanied by this drink, which is, as you can tell on video, it's in a small little teacup glass. You can't see it on audio, but I'm going to explain it to you right now. I am holding a cup filled with water and ice cubes, and inside, it's mixed with Mio, electrolyte, sports version. So give me some electrolytes. It's that good, baby. Mio, if you're watching this, sponsor me, because I love your shit, and it helps me get through my day after a good workout. It really sets the mood, baby. It really sets the mood. It sets the mood. Really sets the mood. Let's get straight into it this week. It's episode 15, I believe. Yeah, episode 15. Wow, man. I can't believe I've actually done 15 straight episodes. It's a small little milestone for me. And little did I know I'd get past the first one. And I did. And now here I am, 15 episodes in, which means I've been doing this for 15 whole weeks, which is almost 4 months, which is insane to me. But you know what? That's how things work. The more you do it, the more content you'll have, the more things you'll have, the more the number will go higher. Okay, I'm gonna get into it. So for this week, I don't know. I think I'm gonna talk about. I have a bunch of things I actually want to talk about, and it's all over the board. It's random as hell. None of it makes sense. Why I'm even discussing all these topics all in one episode. But it is what it is, man. It's my podcast. I choose what to do or what not to do. And for this week, I'll be choosing more weird things to talk about that you may or may not give a shit about, but it's fine because I like them and it makes me happy to talk about it, and I think it's funny or fun or serious. Doesn't matter either way. I think it's good shit. So anyways, I want to talk about actually real quick about my social media game. So first of all, as a content creator here, I want to talk about people who get mad when they ask for follow backs. So I talked about this on my story yesterday, on my Instagram story, or a couple nights ago, talking about people who just are so entitled these days with social media specifically, and I want to bring that up right now. What I mean is, okay, so I had a mini rant about how I don't like, it really bothers me when I see people following content creators or anyone who has a large following, but only under certain conditions. Like, they'll only follow you, but under a condition only. Like, the condition has to be something that is in their favor. So what I mean by that is they follow these content creators or people with massive followings expecting something in return. Like, they deserve to get something out of it, which is some backwards ass shit. It's the most entitled thing I've ever heard in my entire life, because that's not how this works, man. That's not how it works. Like, for example, when people ask these content creators to follow them back. Now, there's nothing wrong with asking someone to follow you back. That's not the problem here. The problem here lies where you ask this question, and then when that content creator gets back to you and says no, you get mad. That's the problem. But why are you getting mad? Don't do that. Okay? Because first of all, you have no context as to why this person is saying no in the first place. Maybe they don't want to follow you. They have their own reasons. They have their own preferences. And before I even say anything else, no one needs to explain anything to you. Okay? Maybe this person doesn't want to follow random strangers and see their content on their timeline every day because they don't want to flood their timeline with unnecessary things that they're not interested in. Maybe they just want to follow their friends or people they know in real life or they've met before or certain accounts that will help them in their lives with their fitness goals or mental goals, career goals, anything, etc. Right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. Who cares? Either way, it's not like they put a gun to your head and forced you to follow them. So why do people think it's okay to just go after someone like that and attack them for not following you back? What kind of logic is that? That doesn't make any sense to me. So don't do that because that's whack. Don't get mad and feel all entitled like you like they owe you something. No one owes you shit in this world. No one owes you shit. And that's just the sad, not even the sad, it's the hard truth. It's the hard, bold, blunt truth and reality of life that you won't be getting handouts everywhere you go. You can't expect shit to happen all the time. Don't get mad and entitled. Don't feel entitled and then get mad at this person and send them hateful messages on top of that, right? Especially because they're also a human being either. And I briefly discussed this in the previous episode, how content creators like me, like, or even anyone who's like famous or has a large following, man, like, yeah, of course, hate and negativity comes with the territory, and we put ourselves in these positions. But like, we're still human at the end of the day. We're not any different from any regular human being. We just have a larger following. We're just literally more recognizable and popular in the world than the normal, a regular human being, regular citizen. So that shit hurts too, man. We have feelings too, right? So don't get mad. Don't start cussing these people out for not following you back. And worst of all, this is what I hate the most is when they unfollow you just because you didn't follow them. I'm like, why do people do that? See, that's what I mean by following someone with conditions. Like, they follow you expecting something in return, and then when they don't get that, they do that. They just kind of boycott you. That's such shitty, sketchy behavior. Why? Like, what was your motive there the entire time then? What was the point of you following me then? What goes through your mind when you think that, right? And so that's what I don't understand. But unfortunately, it's the sad truth, man. This shit happens all the time. And you just have to deal with it. As a content creator, and someone messaged me after too, saying, I'm sick and tired of it's so boring hearing content creators rant about this stuff. Like, we don't give a shit. No one gives a fuck about content creators. Blah 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 blah. Like, stop complaining and just stick to comedy and telling jokes and shit. I'm like, first of all, I'm not even the one who's mad or complaining. You're the one complaining in my DMs, and you're following me still. So what the fuck is wrong with you? People just are bored. And the funniest part, this person did say they were bored and PMSing. And I'm like, okay, well, that doesn't excuse your behavior for being a shitty fucking human being. Just because you're bored and you're PMSing. Oh, sorry, I'm PMSing, but blah, 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 blah. You're shit at this. You're bad at this. Fuck you. Saying negative things. I'm like, that doesn't excuse that shitty behavior. I don't give a damn about that. And you're the one complaining. So who are you? Who are you? And I don't know. People are just weird, man. I don't understand humans. I don't get some people. It really doesn't make sense to me, but it is what it is. But yeah, so and actually, yeah, so to finish off my point here, my point here being that stop expecting so much out of people. When you start expecting so much shit out of people, when you start expecting things to happen for you, no matter what, that's when you get disappointment the most. That's when you get disappointed the most. So in order to avoid disappointment, stop expecting so much from people. That's the number one thing right there. because you'll just go crazy. And it's not a good way to live your life, and you're not going to live a happy life that way. So that's just my 2 cents there. Anyways, to move on from this mini rant, I want to talk about grooming. Grooming for men and women. Now, I guess I'll talk about the proper ways or the bad ways or whatever. But I've been having this conversation recently with a bunch of people and just with myself, trying to figure out what works and what doesn't for the past little while. And so, okay, so first of all, for women, it's not that it's easy. I feel like it's actually annoying for women to get groomed and like having to wax their legs every day or whatever, whenever they do it. Or because I know most of them don't do it in the wintertime because they get to wear pants and no one sees their legs, so they're like, they just leave it. I'm not judging that. I'm just saying that's just the observation I made. But women have to shave their legs and like they have the standards because all these beauty standards, like, oh, you're not a woman if you don't fucking have if you're not hairless, which is so insane because everyone's hairy. Everyone has hair on their body. That's how we naturally were born. So what? Why are we making women just get rid of everything and telling them that's beautiful? I don't know. I'm not even like being a simp or whatever bullshit you want to call it. I'm just literally logically trying to think about how this makes sense. If it were me, if I were a woman, I would hate that. To have to shave my armpits all the time, shave my legs, my body, just my body in general, my coochie, my lips, my face, everything, every day or every few days, or like people like Middle Eastern people, like literally brown girls, man, that shit must be tough. It's already enough as a Middle Eastern man dealing with grooming. But if you're a woman and you're Middle Eastern, ooh, I feel so bad for you. I really do. Because you no one should be going through this. But brown women have it the worst. Oh, man, the stories I've heard. And just like the procedures that they have to go through just to take care of their body hair every day. And it's just so tedious and annoying and frustrating and just a big hassle that I feel for them. I feel for them. But so that's for women. So, but men, I don't know. As a guy, we have balls and a dick. So it's hard to groom around that area, right? Because women, they go get their like coochie wax, like they get Brazilian wax on their ass or their asshole hairs and their coochie hairs, whatever, just anywhere that they need. But I feel like guys don't do that. I'm sure there are guys who go and get their balls waxed and their gooch and their dick and shit. I think I've seen videos of that happen. Don't ask me where, but so my point is, it's. I feel like okay for guys grooming, the regular grooming procedures for a guy are grooming your face, so your stash and your beard and like your head and your head hair, and that's it. There's nothing else that we're expected to groom. Literally, it's just our face and our eyebrows. So as a Persian guy, my eyebrows is for sure that's happening. But for anyone else, it's like barely anything. It's just literally their beard if they have one. And then their hair. That's it. On their head. There's nothing else. We don't have to worry about waxing our chests, our back, our armpits, our legs, our ass, our balls, even like nothing really. Like, but what I want to talk about real quick is about men's balls and the hair that grows around there. So I've been trying to figure out how to shave my own shit and take care of my own stuff, my own junk. Because over the years, okay, first of all, I've never gotten waxed anywhere except for my eyebrows. So. And that already hurts. So I can't even imagine getting that on my balls or my dick. Threading too, like absolutely not. And so so every time I've groomed, quote unquote, myself down there in my private area, it's always been with a shaver, with an electric shaver, which sounds insane. But I'm like, what other option is there? Because I've been using this shaver, but like I'm very careful, and thankfully I've never actually like cut through my skin any like deeply at all or anything, but I've definitely cut mini cuts around my genital area because I'm fucking shaking because I'm trying to concentrate so hard, and it's just I'm sweating, my hands shaking like I got Parkinson's. I'm nervous because if I cut through my ball sack, I'm done. I cut through my epididymis. That's where the sperm goes through the vas deferens to make babies. I'm fucked. If I'm shaving my balls and my hand's shaking like I got Parkinson's because I'm nervous to cut my balls, but I accidentally like fucking make a wrong movement and the blade that's just going so fast. If I touch that even a little bit on my ball sack, I'm done. No babies for me. No babies for Neema. That's what terrifies me about grooming. I've tried everything else. Even I've tried Nair, but that shit fucking left so many pimples and like bumps all over my area because I feel like I was allergic, or it's just like it's easy to get an allergic reaction to it, even though I'm not actually allergic to it. It's just like that's just there's a certain way of applying the cream, and that didn't really work, and it's like a little more risky, but I don't know. Anyways, so I've been just electric shaving my pubic hairs on my balls and my sack and my penis area for so long, but I recently I realized, okay, well, I can't just keep living like this in fear of slitting my nutsack open when I'm just trying to shave my pubes. This shouldn't be an issue. Why is there not an easier way? And then I stumbled upon this TikTok. I know, TikTok. Crazy. Out of all things, TikTok. I stumbled upon TikTok and I saw this video of this woman who does sex videos. Like, she teaches about sex stuff. And one of her videos was about grooming for men. And I watched it and I was like, okay, what's this? And she literally, brilliant. When I saw this, I was like, I'm a reject. I'm an idiot. How did I not think about this? She's like, yo, don't use a shaver. No. Don't use this, blah, blah, blah. No. Use scissors and trim your shit. Scissors. How did I not think about that? That's smart. Because it's not like an electric shaver where the blades are just like going 30,000 miles an hour. Just ready to shred through ball sack skin. Scissors, at least you have a little bit of control over. And you can at least like position it on the hairs and cut it off and keep going and trim around. But I was always told, see, even as a man, like I've always felt like if I'm gonna be with a woman, or just in case, when I groom, I don't wanna have hairs on my ball sack because the woman's not gonna like that. So I always thought like, yo, I have to get every single piece of hair that's on my junk. I gotta get it. How else am I gonna do that? By shaving it. Like I do on my fucking face, which is insane now that I think about it. So I could have cut my dick off so many times now that I think about it. Slit through my veins, my ball sack, the vas deferens, just the epididymis, just straight fucked. And such a bad idea, so risky. But thankfully, I've been good so far, and nothing's really been happened to me that was wrong this whole time. But yeah, I think I'm gonna try scissors now. So if you're a man out there and you're thinking of ways to groom yourself, I think scissors is the way to go. You got this, young fella, young gentleman. So yeah, okay. So that's that. That's all I wanted to talk about for grooming. Well, speaking of grooming, it doesn't have to do with grooming, but this ties into. I brought this up last episode a little bit. About how porn isn't real. Okay, it's not. Porn does not reflect real life sex. It's not the same. Okay, it's a fake fantasy that happens where it's a fantasy. It's not real. The problem is when people watch this and compare that to reality. And they think at some point that this is reality and this is how sex should be. And then when the time comes, they can't perform because they expected the sex to be like it is in porn. Therefore, the sex is shit. And it really hinders your performance and your emotional and physical romantic connection with your partner and everything. And it just ruins the experience. And I'm talking about first-hand experience. of me, even me. Like I got fooled, not fooled, but like I learned the hard way for myself about how, yeah, because I used to watch porn and I'm trying to stop now, but I always thought, okay, like this is what I gotta do when I have sex, and then when the time came and I had to try actually do something about it, I had no idea what I was doing because no experience. You can't just watch something and think you're experienced at it. I don't care. Even if I watched porn for fucking 20 years of my life, when I first had sex, I was dog shit, terrible. I had no idea what I was doing. I was terrible. I was shit. I was out of breath. I was no stamina. It was way harder than I thought. It was actually hard to get up and actually perform. You know what I mean? Like all these things tie together. Your mental state, your physical state, like, it all ties in together. So I suggest if you watch it to not watch it, because, or at least if you're gonna watch it, just know it's fake and just try to detach that from reality, because that's obviously how it is in reality. It's not, it's like real reality sex, and real sex is not like porn whatsoever. Okay, most people don't think they like certain shit because they watch porn and they get off on it, but when it actually comes time to make those actions in the actual sex sesh, I'm gonna call it a sex sesh. That's how you know I'm a fucking virgin, or just very low on experience. I call sex a sex sesh. Jesus Christ, Neema. But you know what I mean. When the time comes, you just can't perform because you're expecting sex to be a certain way, and then when it's not a certain way, obviously you're not gonna fucking get up and get off on it. So do it in moderation if you have to, or I just honestly suggest to stop overall. All like just completely just stop and don't ever watch that shit, because it's not healthy, man. It's not healthy. It's ruining so many men's, especially, I don't know if women, but I don't know the exact numbers, but I'm pretty sure more men watch porn than women do. But overall, it's skewing our perception of reality of sex and making things worse for people. And that's when like rape fantasies come and like sexual abuse and shit like that. And like some of the things you see, you don't have the context of who these people are, or like if they even have consent to do these things, or even or how they feel behind the scenes, or if they actually agree to do these things. Like, you know what I mean? Like if they actually enjoy the things they're doing sexually, they're just doing it for the money or whatever. So it's like it's fake. They're acting. No one more majority of people don't actually fucking like getting their balls stomped on, like bondage style. It's like fucking less than 0.0001% of the world. I don't even know if that's the right number, but you know what I mean. It's so minuscule. There's just no way. I just don't see it. I don't see it. A regular human being or whatever would not be into that stuff. And there's nothing wrong if you're actually into those things and those kinks and stuff like that. I'm just saying, so many people think they like that stuff, and then when the time comes, they get scared off, or like they get disappointed because it's not how they expected it to be, and they get disappointed and just, I don't know, they get turned off by the idea of sex now, or they think it's not as like it was supposed to be, and I don't know, it just kind of changes their idea of sex and what it's actually supposed to be naturally, right? So because naturally there's no fucking back in the day, no one had whips and like ball gags and tied, you know what I mean, like to tie you up on a fucking bed and, you know, fuck you with a feather and shit, you know what I mean? Like, they didn't have that stuff. Maybe they did it, I don't know, but I severely doubt that. Anyways, but you know what I mean? It's not healthy, and it really, and a lot of people are more addicted than you think too, because a lot of people in general, humans are always horny. Humans in general just have always been horny, and just have been wanting to naturally procreate, because that's just how we are as human beings. I don't know the science behind it really, but that's the basics of human being behavior, is that we naturally enjoy sex, but naturally with a partner that we actually have a connection with. Now, I've never actually had that, but I'm just saying from secondhand experience and seeing other people's experiences, and um, different testimonies from my friends and acquaintances and strangers, it's much better to do it with someone you know, who you actually have a connection with, and yeah, it feels better, and it's just a better experience overall. And I feel like that will truly capture the true essence of sex, not porn. So, porn is fake. Don't watch that if you can, and just use your imagination if you have to. Go back to the good old days. The good old days when there was no Google, none of that bullshit. But so, because like there's already enough ass everywhere. There's already enough ass as it is all over the world, on social media, online, TV, movies. Everywhere you look, there's fucking ass. Sex sells. There's ass and titties being flaunted everywhere. TikTok, fucking underage girls shaking their ass and titties, which is unacceptable. And they're just getting famous off this shit. And people are celebrating it. Or, and then there's, movie sex scenes and TV sex scenes. And then, Instagram models who shake their fucking ass, or not even, and just show their ass with nothing on. No censored, nothing. And they're just millions of followers, views, everything. And they're getting bank, cake, so much money from these posts just for showing some ass. And actually, that's funny because I want to bring up something I also had a rant about a few days ago. Is fuck, that's some good meal. ASMR break. Sorry. Oh fuck, sorry. If you're listening on audio and you just heard that, you probably hate me. Hate my guts. You hate my guts. You probably hate my guts. Now, so people, yeah. So I want to talk about IG models who make a living off Instagram, literally just showing their ass. No talent whatsoever, just strictly straight up hot girls. And there's nothing wrong with hot girls. I personally enjoy watching hot girls do their thing. But it's like, first of all, I'm just so sick of seeing so much ass on my feed every day. Because, listen, I don't follow any IG models, okay? I'm seeing too much ass these days on my Instagram. Like, it's everywhere. And I don't follow any Instagram models. I don't like their pictures. I don't comment on anything. I don't search their names up. Nothing. Yet I see them everywhere on my Explore page, home page, fucking ads, bro. Ads. How am I seeing ass on ads? Is that even allowed? How is that allowed? That can't be allowed. Okay, take that shit off. I didn't sign up for this. I want to see things that matter to me, or that I actually want to see, not all this fucking ass everywhere. How many more times can I see a pretty much almost naked woman? Nothing wrong with this, by the way, if you're a naked woman. It's natural beauty. I'm all for that, baby. I love seeing naked women. But in this instance, in this case, when I'm just on Instagram, I'm talking about Instagram specifically, how many more times can I just come across another video that I don't want to see, of it gets pushed in your face, another video of a girl walking on a beach in the sand wearing next to nothing, in slow motion, shaking her ass so much I can see her booty hole, and it's bleached through her fucking fat, literally nothing G-string. Like, I can't. And I didn't choose this. I didn't choose to watch this. And it's not like I'm being forced to be on the app either. And I know that. But that's where I do my work. And, like, that's where I'm literally making content every day. And I have to be on the app. But, like, I scroll one fucking post down, and I just see more ass. And everything I do, I block them. I shadow whatever. I report them and shit. Still see them everywhere. It doesn't make any sense. And don't even get me started. Don't even get me started on the IG models who think they're fitness experts, and they just promote fit teen shit, but they have no idea what they're talking about. They just have like nice asses and maybe a nice body, but like They have no idea the exercises they're doing. They have no idea how to do them. They have the worst form always. Like Jen Selter's a good example because she got famous over her ass. But her ass doesn't look real. Like your ass isn't supposed to look like that, like naturally. Like her back is so curved, it's ridiculous. Like these women are doing squats like with the worst form. You're gonna ruin your back by the time you're 40, and you're gonna be fucked. But like no, we gotta show our ass and get fucking 5,000 million views. This is me. No, this is my life. Yeah. Well, fucking good luck then. Why does your back look like a half pipe that I can come and skateboard on? And your ass so high up in the air and just sticking out when you're doing a squat that it looks like someone's going to skydive straight into your asshole right after. That's insane. You have the worst form. It's terrible. It's dog shit. And so pretty much just stop doing that, please. Please stop showing me this shit on Instagram. I'm so sick and tired of it. And that's another part of the culture, man, of the porn culture too. And it's like it all ties in together because you see all these naked women and they're fucking, and then you see something similar to that on Instagram and social media. Especially for kids, it's even worse. They get conditioned early on. They see these things and they're like, oh, this is normal, and then they get fucking horny and jerk off and do weird shit. And it just gets worse as the years go by, and the different generations of people just get more and more fucked. And they have more fetishes, weirder and more intense, probably illegal preferences sexually. I don't know, whatever. But I don't know. That's just my take on that stuff, because it's and the worst part is the pictures these IG models take. And the captions that they have underneath it. It's always like a picture. It's always like, dream big, work hard. Dream big, work hard. And then the picture is literally like them in doggy position, squatting with their fucking face down on the ground, and their full ass straight up in the air, and you can see their pussy. No, dream big, work hard. No, that does not fit with this picture. What is it with these cringy ass captions? That's what pisses me off the most. Who I swear there's a club where they just like they all know what they're doing. They all know, okay, well, this is how it works. We post like a very inspiring life caption, and then we pose like we're about to get fucked. Okay? Let's pose like we're about to get fucked in the ass, but let's write like a really inspiring caption so people know that we're being real. Like, I don't know how this started, and it's so annoying. Dum da 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 dum da 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 dum da 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 da. Let me see you work it, babe. Boom, ba da 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 da, boom, ba da 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 da, boom, ba da 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 da, boom. Nice little music break. So, but you know, I've been talking shit about women this whole time. Let's talk shit about men now. And by the way, if you're watching this to this point, by the way, if you're still watching, thank you so much. You mean a lot to me. Thank you. Okay, I love your support. When I talk about anything on these podcasts, it's all love. It's all I don't have any bad intentions about anything I talk about or anyone I talk about, unless like someone's done something wrong by me, or but even then, I'm not a hateful person. I don't have a hateful bone in my body. I never want anyone to, suffer through anything ever. I genuinely believe in love and compassion and helping people out as much as I can, because I feel like people deserve better always, and it's important to grow, and there has to be everyone has potential to be better, right? So I always give benefit of the doubt to people, and I mean, unless you're a fucking straight up criminal and you rape someone or you kill someone, then that fucking sucks. You should rot in jail. You should serve your time. But there's certain things where I'm like, okay, well, everyone deserves a second chance. Everyone, I don't genuinely see the worst in people. So I don't know. I'm just trying to say that when I most of the things I talk about, like there's some truth behind it, obviously, but also I'm exaggerating a little bit as well, just to give you some context of how I come across it and my opinions, right? Because I'm a comedian and I like saying random wild shit all the time, and it's meant to be a little bit funny too. But yeah, there's some truth behind it as well. But and I don't know, and I might say certain things wrong or incorrectly or whatever the reason is that someone might get mad, but it's never my intention to purposely be hateful or ignorant, right? And if I do come across as that, or if someone has a problem with that, or people, a big, large group of people have a problem with it, then yeah, I'm always open to learning and getting better and doing right. So that's my take on that stuff. So, anyways, let's talk shit about men real quick. Uh, it's a big. Well, I guess this whole fucking episode's literally about just sex and men and women sex parts and genitals and sex in general, porn and shit. So there's a thing that like has been, I guess, brought up over the years, over the past decade or so, or even longer, or however long, probably all of eternity, that human beings have existed through for anyone who's ever had sex. But I think mostly in the modern era, it's a thing about. I always see memes and shit on Twitter and Instagram too about how there's always a joke about how men can never find the clit on a woman. It's always like a big joke on men about how we can't find the clit ever. It's like, and especially even when girls tell you literally where to do it and touch it or lick it, we still have no idea what we're doing, which is hilarious. And I've never personally done that before, and I'm not opposed to it. If it's the right person, yeah, I'll do it. But it's funny because I also see a lot of girls who talk about how they tell the guy when they're like having sex, or like when the guy goes down on them, to when they're like when they finally actually find the clit, and they tell them where it is, and then they start licking it, or whatever. They're like giving them head, and then when the girls are like, yo, oh my god, don't stop, oh my god, don't stop. When they're like, don't stop, literally every single time the guy just like does something different right after and tries to go harder, and it ruins the woman's orgasm apparently. So I don't know that, but I recently learned that it's like when a girl's telling you to not stop, don't stop. They're genuinely telling you the truth because they know what they like. And when you finally find the clit and you're actually hitting it right, and when they say don't stop, do not stop, because that's what they're waiting to hit that orgasm, because it's actually apparently 20% of women, or is it either they can't or they can? I think it's 20% of women, can't. Yeah, only 20% of women can orgasm. Like most of the time when they're having sex or orally or whatever. Majority of women can't orgasm right on the spot. It's a mental thing. They have to be in the right headspace, the right mood, right environment, right person, everything. Like apparently they just like it's hard for women to orgasm, right? Especially with a fucking man who knows nothing about what he's doing. So it's like women always get mad at women. Women always get mad at men for fucking up, eating out other women, eating out pussies, because when they're actually finally getting the right spot, and the girl's like, "Yo, don't stop," they fucking change up immediately, and it ruins the entire vibe. It ruins the orgasm, ruins the pleasure, and like they just can't finish. And I can see why that would kill a woman's vibe. So men are fucking stupid for that. Because you know why? Because I know, because men's behavior, when they hear a woman tell them don't stop, they just want, all of a sudden something happens in their brain. We're like, oh, I gotta act brave. I'm gonna be brave and do something wild, some crazy, freaky shit, because she said don't stop, and they think they're doing something right, but really, less is more. You just listen to what a woman says, and I guarantee you'll have way better results. So that's the advice I'm gonna take for myself when the opportunity arises. So I'm ready for that. But yeah, a lot of men we're clueless, man. Men ain't shit. We don't know anything about women's bodies, and unless you're like, it's like the once again a small percentage of the world of guys that actually do know. Either you studied it or you're a doctor or a science major or nerd or whatever, health fucking expert, and or you've been in a long relationship where you've learned this shit inside and out of a woman. But at the end of the day, I think it comes down to experience more than anything. It's all about experience and just having experiences to learn from. So, yeah, I guess I'm just going to end it there. Nice and abrupt, but I have nothing else to talk about this week. I will think of some new shit to talk about for next week. It'll be fun, I'm sure. It's still quarantine, and we're still quarantining hard at my house with my family. We haven't seen anybody, but we're slowly thinking of meeting up with certain people. My dad has been seeing his friends. I'm seeing a couple of my friends now, but like we're still socially distancing and blah blah blah. So yeah, man, we're getting things going. Canada is the best for COVID cases. Actually, we have the least amount in the world apparently. Relative to the numbers, so that's great. So yeah, man, just gonna keep doing my thing. If you're having trouble working on your habits, try to read some books, man. Try to read some books. Go exercise. Try intermittent fasting. It's been helping me, man. I've been losing a lot of weight and feeling healthier every day, getting more energy. And yeah, man, it's a good time. Exercise, eating well, intermittent fasting, stay hydrated, drink a lot of water, and remember to sanitize and wash your hands always. So, yeah, if you stayed to this point, if you can, please comment #Finding Neema Podcast on my most recent Instagram post if you can, or anywhere. If you're on Twitter or even YouTube, please comment on the video itself, writing that would be great, and I would appreciate it a lot. It just helps me with the algorithm and gets more engagement and traffic for me. So I would appreciate that. So thank you so much for supporting and watching my content and listening to my podcasts. I'm releasing this today when you're listening to it alongside my vlog, and I have some other videos I'm posting this week too. So more content for everyone's head tops, and yeah, it'll be good. So thank you so much, and I hope you have a great weekend and a great week. Take care of yourself and your families, and I will see you next week on another episode of Finding Neema Podcast. My name is Neema, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
Flex down in Cabana. We gon' have a staycation on Havana. She wind it up slow on my banana. Her skin is too sweet like Fanta. She